Welcome back to yet another session of Thinking on Destiny. We are in the process of dwelling into the re-existence, how it is happening. Before we go further in today's wisdom from Percival, let us connect to his consciousness for a few minutes so that we can connect and let his wisdom flow through me to every one of us. Please sit in a meditative posture, clasp your hands, cross your legs, and close your eyes. Please observe your breath. How you are taking breath or a vital energy through your breath. Each and every part of your body. Energize your body with all positive thoughts. Breathe in. All positive thoughts. And breathe out all your negative emotions. Mindfully notice your breath. Breathing all your negative emotion. Mind and soul into this book for 22 long years. Giving us this wisdom. Much gratitude. Gently place your hands on your eyes for a few seconds. The count of 5, slowly open your eyes with a beautiful smile on your face. Before we go further today's session, let's recap what we have learned last session. Over to you, Balagaru.
Thank you, Prasanna. Last time Prasanna covered, the doer portion in the body, and then it's an error conception of I and the personality and re-existence, and how the doer portion, acts what happens to the doer portion after death. So all these, she discussed in section 10 in last week. So let me summarize. So we, as the doers, we keep coming to this earth, forgetting our real purpose of life. Only one of the 12 portions of the doer takes up this physical body. The doer, before coming to earth as a soul, is perfect. But once it comes into the physical body, on the earth, when it touches, it forgets its real nature. So in 12 portions, the cycle, which you showed last week, in 12 portions of our existence as a doer, in one portion, we take one at a time as it comes into the physical body. So each portion has a different existence purpose. It has different existence. Occasionally, it takes 2 portions into a physical body, but it's rare. Most of the time, it takes only one portion of the 12. It takes physical body. Each of these portions are separate, yet they are related to each other. When you are in one portion, you are thinking of that only, not conscious of the other 11 portions. In the cycle of the doer of the 12 rings, after 9 months of baby growth, which is consisting of 3 cycles, the growth, baby growth, and the birth, and then it comes after the birth and after the life of the physical body, then the death occurs. But during the life of the physical body, most of the people, may not know their life purpose. When the death happens, after death, the soul goes through the dream portion, the judgment portion, and then separation from the lower thought portion. First, let us consider these 3. During the dream section, we go through our recent life activities, what we achieved and what we missed. In an astral travel plane, soul keeps dreaming the things it missed on the earth. Initially, very difficult, for it is very difficult to accept that it doesn't have a physical body, because without physical body, it keeps thinking that still it is, with all the desires, it keeps acting like that, as though it is existing on the earth. But eventually, the soul can satisfy its desires easily in dream without much effort on astral plane, just by thinking, because we get everything easily. Then it gets realized that, oh, okay, I have a, this is not me, I'm in a different plane, then it realizes. After dream section, the judgment starts. So in judgment, we will see our own in life, recent past life movie. Here, heaven means when we feel happy after our achievements on the earth, we feel very happy. And that's we consider as heaven. And here, hell means the life plan you missed during in the past lifetime. Example, purpose of, the purpose of, after we take, with our purpose of taking a birth in a rich family and thinking that to help the poor people, we miss that, we forget that life purpose, and then we get involved in are indulged in all materialistic pleasures. That's what happens. So that's why when we see our own movie like that, then we feel bad, very bad, and that is what we consider as hell. In judgment, we judge our own soul plan, and no other judges will be there. So next, the separation from the lower thought. Here you separate from higher thoughts, astral portion, that is buddhi, from lower thoughts, that is the manas portion. After separation, soul waits here until it finds proper soul members for its earth journey. So in here, After separation from the lower and higher thoughts, then it waits until it gets the proper family members, for proper souls for its journey. And then the purification starts. Here you purify your thoughts and reform your soul. Each portion is responsible for its own destiny. And then purified breath form occurs. And then in that period, you get purified. Later comes the composite happiness section. Here, waiting happily after the purification. So in this, they wait here with other souls happily. So next comes the purified rest section. So after all that composite happiness and all, and then here also the souls rest after the purification. And then the thought of life section comes. Here, now you get a thought of that, I am ready to take next life on earth. Then it realizes that what it missed and what next to achieve. So then it thinks, oh, okay, now I'm ready to achieve what I'm supposed to, and I need to take another birth. So it decides. And then you choose what kind of parents, what kind of situations, which country, religion to be born in. So that's what happens. And here souls choose either favorable or unfavorable life conditions, depending on their karma bondage. And then our karma burning choices. When the soul chose lots of challenges in one life, that means it is a brave soul. So that means it purposely took challenges. Then so all this, 8, after all these 8, then embryonic life, because in that thought of life section, it decides to take a birth on earth, and then the life of embryo starts. So that takes 3 sections, which is 9 months. That is how the embryo grows and becomes a body, and final in the trimester, last trimester, the body of the sex forms, and the birth happens, and then the physical body takes up. So some of the doer portions withdrawn because of old age are finishing that life plan. So after the birth, the physical life happens on the and then the soul decides either because of the old age or because it's the desired plan, whatever it planned. So some doers re-exist on earth because of their own karma or because of their own desires to help others. Some souls, even though they don't have karma, but they decide to come onto earth to help others, even though they don't have any karmic bondage. As humans, we get very little lower portion of light, which shows our real purpose of life. As doers, we forget everything we planned after death before coming into physical life. So to know our real life purpose, we need to do meditation and get connected to our inner higher self. For that, you need to shut down your senses and disconnect with feeling of I and mine, which is the ego, which is erroneous I. So for your real happiness or satisfaction, you need to work towards life purpose. Then only you get real satisfaction and happiness. And then feeling and desire mind of I is the ego or body mind. So I-ness feeling in triune self is the real I. Here he says, I-ness feeling of in triune self, that is the real higher self. Doer in the body is not conscious of the real I, but conscious of the false I. Always, as human beings, that's what, we are always conscious of the wrong I, which is the body mind desire. When you touch the real I portion in knower, you feel very happy and satisfied. It means that it is your life purpose. When something is coming to you over and over, it means that you need to learn and do that for your life purpose. Now, in this lifetime, when all our basic needs are met, let us not waste this life. And by using our body mind, let us not waste, going on after the life pleasures. And then we need to get rid of our false identity by evolving from doer to thinker to knower. So here also he says, humanly I disappears. By doing all this, humanly I disappears heavenly eye appears and tells you what is right for your soul evolution in that state. When you are with your dominating thoughts in this life, they will become manifested in the next life, and also they re-exist. That's what happens. So even if we do not satisfy our desires in this lifetime, we become, with those thoughts, we re-exist in our next life. That's all I have, the summary.
Thank you, Balagaru. Let's go back to next section that we have here. We learned about the real eye and the false eye in the last section, right? So how we think with the false eye, what is that I do, I hear, this is all. I did it is you did it with your body. I hear is you did it with your sense consciousness, that is with your only the ears or something. I smell, you did it with your nose, that's a sense consciousness again, which is not the actual the real I. That's a triune self. Whatever that I-ness is there, that I is not the one that you have done. So when you are able to know that I, that is actually the light of intelligence that you acquired fully, and you are able to be in the knower portion. Now in this section, he's talking about the how your thoughts are summarized at the time of death. Okay, like at the year end, we are summarizing the balance sheet of our whatever, any company or anything. We summarize our thoughts, right? We summarize our accounts. So what is the credit, what is the debit, and what is the end of the year balance or something like that. Similarly, here we summarize the thoughts. The thoughts are summarized at the death. Events determined then for the next life. So that is the time where the events are determined for the next life also. Okay, here he has also give a classic example of the Greece race, how it falls undone, and how the Jews race was not actually steadily was there. What is the reason, and how the stamp of the God will be there in your soul at the time of the birth, and how the family will be decided, and why the sex, how the sex will be decided, and why you want to change the sex from one sex to the another sex. All these reasons were not during the lifetime, but whenever you're taking the life, right? So that time. So these are all the points that he's going to discuss in this section 11. So here he is telling there are the two classes, right? So in a human being life, right? So the effect is of coming from the two classes. One is that you have done, whatever that you have done, the portion that is embedded in your previous life. So that is the one that samskaras or vasanas or whatever it is, it's coming to this life. So that is the one portion, the doer portion that he has done in the last life. Okay, and how it is decided the next life, that is the last life, how you have actually executed in this life. That means whatever that harvested the new thoughts in the current life, right? The thoughts that you are totaled, that you have in the current life or the present life also. So these two thoughts should be balanced. Suppose in the previous life you thought that, okay, I did so many mistakes, and this lifetime I have to do some kind of the nishkama seva or whatever the thing that you want to do it. You came with some purpose. I wanted to do this. You came with that purpose. If you in this lifetime, if you achieved that, what will happen? That thought and this thought will be totaled. So you need not, because there's nothing after that. So you are able to achieve whatever you plan to achieve. Suppose you thought you will do it, like in just now the summarized she's telling. Suppose if I born in a rich family, if I need not worry about my means, then I will do that. This so much things you thought of as a soul, and you came here and you born in a rich family, but you indulged yourself into the worldly pleasures. You totally forget what is the purpose that you born in a rich family. You totally forget. But at the time of death, you will be able to see that what is your previous life, what is that you actually planned for it, and what you have done in the current life. So that balance sheet will be happen at the summarizing the thought, right? So that time, if you are happy, that time you feel that I'm happy that whatever I wanted to achieve, that is the happiness is your ruling thought. You're able to fulfill your part of it, or most of it, are you are able to fulfill. Suppose the moment you saw your previous life, what is that as a soul you took it, and what is that you didn't do in this lifetime, you feel, oh my God, I didn't do, I wasted my life. So that is the ruling thought. So whatever the thoughts that comes at the end of it, right? Because you will be known what is that as a soul you took it, and you know that what is the current life you took it. So these thoughts are totaled, and whatever the thought that comes, that thought is called a ruling thought. This ruling thought will be coming as a samskara or a sketch program for your next life. So always live up to your satisfaction. I'm not saying up to expectations of somebody. Don't, you need not, because each one of us, the purpose is different. My purpose is different, your purpose is different, and somebody else's purpose is different. Because you need not live up to the expectations of the somebody else. You live what is giving you the happiness. In the beginning itself, he explains what is the purpose of life. Whenever you are doing something, if it is making you happy, that's the purpose of life. So don't say that, okay, if I'm earning money and if I'm spending on the pleasures, that is giving me happy. That is, again, that is all impermanent things. You are spending on the impermanent things. You are thinking on the impermanent things. All these are all the impermanent. So they are not the right one. Think about the permanent ones, whatever you are doing, right? Suppose you are doing some teaching to the poor kids, and you went and teaching in the, you are volunteering, then you feel a lot of satisfaction, right? Suppose you are serving to the needy people, so then you are giving a lot of satisfaction. Whatever that is actually passionating and giving you the happiness, that is your life purpose. So if you can able do that, whenever we are in the lifetime, do that as much as you can do, so that at end moment you will have that satisfaction feeling or fulfilled feeling. So when you have that fulfilled feeling, your sketchy program for the next life, if at all the next life exists, so that lifetime, next lifetime, the sketchy program will be a good one. Otherwise, if you feel, oh my God, what did I did? I wasted all the things. So that will be the ruling thought. So you will be with that guilt. With that guilt, oh, I will take that pain. I will take this pain. Oh, I did that to him, so I have to take that. So these kind of thoughts you will be getting it. So obviously, as a result, your next life will be, those incident will be determined definitely what will happen to the next life. So that is the most important. That's how the thoughts are getting consolidated at the time of death. At the moment of the death, the thoughts and acts of the past life are reviewed and comprehended by the departing doer portion. So they are reviewed and comprehended by the departed doer portion, and confirming the dominating thought. What is the dominating thought? Whether you are able, not what is actually the dominating thought. Or throughout this lifetime, right? Throughout this lifetime, you are so dissatisfied. You want to become something else. That was your dominating thought. You want to become something else all the time. So in that case, that will be your dominating thought. But is it the previous life that is it that purpose you came to that? So these two thoughts, whichever is dominating your thought, that will be dominating, and those incidents may come to the next life. Thereby, outstanding and some of the minor incidents. So thereby, you are actually fixing what are the outstanding events and what are the some of the minor events. You will be fixing it. Okay, because of these thoughts exteriorization only, whatever the thoughts that you are actually doing it, those thoughts exteriorizations only, nothing but they will be go to the noetic destiny and again come back to your physical destiny for your next life, and they will get exteriorized, and those exteriorized those thoughts only will exteriorize, and that become the destiny. That the destiny can be postponed no longer. Sometimes the destiny can be postponed, sometimes they cannot be postponed because of the continuous conditions. It has to be happened, right? Because whenever something has to be exteriorized, the times, place, and the people, all the things should be come into the one place. Then only you will be able to exteriorize the things. So sometimes you may be able to postpone those incidents, and sometimes you have to take those incidents in the coming life. The advent of these events has become gradually predestined during the course of past life. So during the course of past life, these incidents were done. At the moment of the death, the doer acknowledges them and binds itself. So at the time of death, he knew, because when you become a soul, right, you acknowledges what you know what exactly what you planned for and what you have done and what you have not done. It's nothing like somebody will come and judge you and give you all the things. Because when you become a pure soul, you are that pure consciousness, right? We are all the pure consciousness. Only thing is we forget we are that light of intelligence. We are that light of intelligence, but we are forgetting that we are that supreme consciousness. We have separated ourselves and we kept that consciousness as a god or somebody else, and we are thinking that we are only the doers. We are not thinking that we are the knowers. That is why we are. But at the time of that the death, so you will be able to understand that you are the knower. So you are that pure soul. So you will not, so not that somebody has to come and judge you. You yourself will judge yourself and see what I will do in the next life. What will be the next plan. So that at the moment of the death, the preordinated for the next life and the same doer portion, the time that life will begin. Where the life will begin, the race, the country, and the nationality, the kind of the family in which the body will be born, the sex, and the kind of the body, physical hereditary, inherent manners, and chief mundane occupations, particularly diseases, some accidents, the critical events, and the time and nature of death. See how many events were designed at the time of the death of the previous life itself. All these life, right? The race, the country, the nationality, which family you have to born, what is your physical hereditary, what are the diseases that you may come, is there any accidents in your life, what occupation you are going to do it. So all these critical events are designed by you, by you, agreed by you, by you witnesses, by your that I, soul, the true I. So with that soul, you are able to have an agreement with all these things. These inevitable happenings are marked on, where they are in inevitable mark, they are marked on AIA. That's where we are coming, right? So all these are marked on AIA. And then where they are involved, the actions, because when they are involved, the actions of the many people, then it will depends on the thing, you will take that birth. Okay. At the time of the birth, the body determined the beginning and end of the next life on this earth as well. This does not mean, again, he's saying, okay, time and do you know that exact time where I will be born? That time, whatever that it is saying, right? When you are coming to the next life, means it is not exactly the time that we are calculating in the earth planet. That time is different. That the time that it is actually thinking is a different than our earthly calendar. What it will say, suppose you have a bond of the four people. Let us take, you wanted to born in the born with those four people or something. Then those people has to come back, right, again. So then only you can do some you can associate with them and do it. So you will take, it all depends on the achievements. What is that achievements, right? The sequence of these things that will happen. So these are the conditions. These are the people I want to be associated when you thinking of it. So those mass units has a relation to each other. So whenever those change of mass units is happening in this lifetime, then that sequence will happen. The doer portions, the sequence will happen. So usually these sequences are measured by accomplishment here. So what are the sequences? What things that to be happen in order for you to come back again to into this doer portion on the thing. The arrival accomplishment coincide with the date in the earthly calendar. So the arrival may be coinciding, but that is the thing. That certain course must have been completed by the doer portion before the next life begin. So that means the predestined events must have occurred before the death and can take place, that certain courses have been completed. So before the death, whatever the events that are supposed to be happen must have been completed. Unless we learned about soul's journey, unless the case of the suicide, everywhere else, the certainty, even if it is an accident also, the accident is also designed. Okay, so for that lifetime, whatever the event that you are supposed to do it, whatever the things that is supposed to be happen is done, then you will be going it. Only the exception is only in the case of suicide. The race, the country, nationality, religion, and are predetermined by the soul. The symbolic lines on the AIA are confirmed at the time of the death for certain characteristics which will appear in the traits of the race and nationality through the birth in certain country. So the AIA, whatever those things, whatever the symbolic lines that is printed in the AIA, it is confirmed at the time of the death which race, which nationality, which country has to be born or want to be born. The fundamental selfishness of the sloth of the human beings are expression in the different development through different races. Actually, whenever you are actually coming to this earth, so you will develop that AIA will the I portion or that doer portion will develop, and it will go with that development. So next time it will, so sometimes it may want to come to the same race or it may want to go to the different race. So it all depends. So when so many people don't want to born in the one particular race, what will happen? The fall of that race will happen. That's what he's saying. When so many people want to born in the same race again and again and again, so that race will be so strong, and they will be they will not, because even if the ages also, the traits and the whatever the characteristics of that particular race will be remain the same. Suppose if you take a Latin from the Scholastic and the Semitic, those times and now they are different. Similarly, Egyptians from the olden days, whatever the features or whatever those the people that they are doing, the belief system and all those things to nowadays are different, because those are not so strongly, they were not binded to these racial conditions. So people who do not wish to be particular racial condition, right? So they will be changing. Fundamental thinking was changed in that particular race. Was certain longings, feelings, and desires have been changed in that race. So the race may fall, the race may rise. Here is giving an example of the Jewish example, Jewish beliefs. So we say that whether you go to the Tirupati or some other deity, so people will say, oh, you are saying that the God is within you, and those who are saying that the God is there in Tirupati. So whenever they go to the Tirumala, the things are happening whenever they wish something or they prayed for something. We know what is the reason, we told you, right? When so many people are going there and keeping their consciousness or keeping their light of intelligence and that particular statue or anything, what is happening? So much people faith and so much people light was loaned to there. So when millions of people are going and loaning their light there, so obviously it's becoming the powerful. That's how your faith is the one which is giving you the thing that you have to, it can happen or it may not happen. Those are the things it is happening. Here in the Jewish also, what they did is, instead of actually going to any deity, they kept all their things on the earth as a deity, right? So in that earth, they kept it earth. So they are worshipping. That's what the Percival is saying. In the beginning days, there is no gods at all. The gods are only the Panchabhutas, worshipping the earth, worshipping the sun, worshipping the rain, worshipping the Varuna. We have Varuna Deva, Agni Deva, all these things we have it, right? Even in Hindu religion. So these are all the first, because without them we cannot survive, basically. Without fire, we cannot survive. Without, if the sun is not coming up for 2-3 days, then you are done. You are doomed. So in winter, it's only 4 hours of sun, only 5 hours of sun. How much the people will be cribbing about it, right? So that much we require. Whether you have the God, whether you have a religion or not, still you can survive. But we need to have these 5 elements that should be there in our for our daily life, right? So we need to have these people. So here the Jewish people believed the earth as the deity. So they believed, and they put all their light of intelligence on the earth. When they put all the light of intelligence, because everything has to come from the earth. So when everything is coming from the earth, when the Jewish has put their light on the earth, then obviously they were very strong. They grow as a very strong believers, and they were very strong believers of what they are actually practicing. So they don't want to go to the other races. They are so happy in their race. So many people want to come again and again into the same Jewish community. Because of that, Jews were not changed much. That's what other is saying, because they are believing. But other conditions like a Latin or Egyptians, they change a lot. That's what other is mentioning to us. And And we can, because we, if you see the Jewish also, they were so much spiritual. They were so much into their things. If you come across any Jewish person, suppose not only the Jewish person, as last class I mentioned, right? For a Christian, he has to read a Bible for sure. Okay, even in the colleges, there are some of the colleges which they insist they have to read a couple of papers on the because when my son is applying, I learned there are a few colleges which they insist you need to learn the Bible. And Muslims, they need to do some kind of prayer. Compulsory, they need to do the prayer on Friday, that there are 5 times they do something like that. But whereas Hindu, if you are taking, are we reading any spiritual book, Bhagavad Gita or anything? Are we reading that one? We are not actually going and reading. So this is the difference. I am not saying one is great over the other or anything. These are the different religions. But some people will have the strong faith on their religion and some people may not be. So nowadays, if you take, so many people may not even able to read the books, those books, right? So that kind of, so when we are not so much into it, this race may not feel like, okay, I want to born in this, because you don't know what exactly it is there, right? So or you didn't learn much, so you may not feel like coming into the same race again and again. This race is made, the feeling that you need to come, forcible feeling that it should come from the from within the doers. Okay, doers re-exist in the race as long as their feelings and desires and the manners of expressing them suitably externalized in a peculiarities of the race. So doers want to come to this race when they have that feeling, when they have the desire, because their desires are exteriorized in that particular in this particular race. So whatever that they want to do it, so they want to do it again and again in the same race. Doers leave the race. When they will leave the race? When it no longer enables them to exhibit this interior nature that they appear in a fitting race. Suppose if they want to have some interior, some nature within, so in that particular race, they are not able to fulfill, or they are not able to express, or they are not able to do some of the things, then they don't want to born in that same race again. Doers may want to change the race and they wanted to appear in a different thing. Suppose, let us take, there are people in the olden days, there are people, some of the caste of the people, they are not allowed into the temple, right? So if they have a lot of devotion and they want to go to the temple, even then they are not allowed to go to the, so in that race when they're born, they are not allowed to go to the go to the temple, go inside the temple, what it is there and all. Forget about whether the temple has to go or not. I'm just taking an example, right? So when they cannot go in the next life, will that particular soul want to come into the same race again, same caste or same race again? He wanted to do something, but because of the race or caste or anything, he is not able to do it. Can he or she will come to the same caste again?
No.
No, right? So obviously they wanted to change the race or a caste or whatever it is. So that's how we have to. So that's where that's where somewhere we learned there is nothing great about a one particular caste or a race. We are all actually learning from each by borning each and every caste and races. We are learning there. So what is there, we are actually learning. Similarly, it could be the religion also. So we need not feel that we are so great in being in there. You must have learned from that and came here, or if not, tomorrow you will go and learn from there. So whatever that you took the purpose in this lifetime, learn it. Evolve the soul. So as a soul, evolve. Doers appearing in the bodies of abandoned race and country are usually different in the quality from those who formerly dwelt in the bodies of that race. So definitely they will have the different, because abandoned races, if they're born, their development will not be that much, right? This is the reason. This is the reason some of the races will fall, because they do not want to go again and again to that particular race. The fact that doers are different character coming. So when they are coming, so the doers will go to the different, and they will come, the different characters will come. Similarly, a flare-up of the race may be seen in a classic Greece. There is a stock from an ancient period and had lapsed into the common people, but some of them had tendency to rise. Among them suddenly appeared are the few re-existing doers from the prehistoric period of the glory, and they made the classic race. So some of the people, there is a rise in the Greece. What is he saying? Some of the people from the prehistoric race, so those doers have come again, and they just reinsisted. They re-existed here, and they bring back their Greece culture again. So doing the usually degradation and mixing with others causes the disappearance of the nations as well as some of the things. Suppose if I take where is the Mughal dynasty? Where we have seen so many dynasties, right? We read so many dynasties. If they're all existing, what are they doing it now? So suddenly they all got disappeared. So those were not there. Yeah, so they may be changing. Like I gave an example, Egyptians of some ancient Egyptians are the doers, right? Those are not there now. Now the bodies that are there in the Egyptians are so different from the formal Egyptians. Light in the past, there some of the cases, the light in the past people, in that case they may have the more light. If you are not using properly, that light will be degraded, and you have to born in a degraded forms only. You have to born. Okay. A race has survived. A Jewish, he is giving has survived almost unchanged from the distinct past in the Jewish. The reason is this race worships the earth, one of the earth spirits, as its gods, with more or less loyalty. Therefore, money, things, and earthly value of the together with the sensuous enjoyment for them are the rewards from the God that worships. Anything that it comes, they say that, oh, Bhumata. So like earth, God has given to them. So whenever they are worshipping, because they are again worshipping that nature only, right? So when they are worshipping that nature, because Panchabhutas, whenever you are with that, it will compel to, when you are compelling to worship these things, then you will be growing, because your actually light of intelligence will increase. And also they are actually, they have, I cannot say the light of intelligence, but they are actually, they wanted to come again because they were so happy staying in that race. So they wanted to come again and again in the same thing. Suppose you born to one particular family, you are so happy, your childhood was so happy, and you married to somebody, and your life is so happy. There is nothing. So then you wanted to born in the same race again. You may, whether you will have the same life or not, same kind of easy life or not, is depends upon what you have done this life and the past lives. That's a different story. But you wanted to born in the same race, same kind of family, same family you may want to born. So this is the things that it might be happening today. The other day, I think yesterday, casually, I'm just looking for an interview. I was surprised because while I'm while we are discussing about the re-existence, right? Those who know Telugu people, Annapurna, Telugu actor, right? So she's talking. Her daughter was committed suicide and died, and her sister has had a granddaughter now, which is around 3 years old now. So she is telling that's what she's explaining. She's showing some grill and saying that, oh, I used to be here. I used to be here. You used to be strong that time. Now you became like so so feeble kind of thing. So she's giving all kinds of as if she lived in that home like many years ago, right? So that kind of thing. So she's believing the Annapurna in her interview. She's saying that she's none other than my daughter, because people are saying these qualities maybe because she may forget all these things once the age comes. But now she's actually explaining all the things. I used to be here, I used to be there, and one auntie used to come, the Sri Lakshmi auntie used to come here. All these things she's actually able to remember and explain. I mean, I don't know how far it is, but it's a proof. That's what she's saying. There's a proof that re-existence is there. So when she departed, that soul was departed by committing suicide, I guess. So she felt bad or whatever it is. She wanted to come back to the same family and again came back. So like this, there are some of the things you can see, especially the kids under the 4 or 5 years, right? People will say, oh, he is behaving that way, she's behaving that way. I have seen in the families also, exactly is behaving that way, exactly whatever he likes only he's also eating. So these kind of things I have seen, I have heard from the people. Maybe these are all the people who wanted to come to the same family again because they have that kind of bondage. This shows that the God is no longer local as, okay, this is a different thing. Sorry. Races persist, increase, disappear in according to the feelings and desires of the ideals or ambitions of the people. So our races, whatever the race, these races may come, may go, it may be there, it may not be there. Future, as I told you, that the so many dynasties we lost, and we don't know what are the so many parties are like we lost the parties, we lost the dynasties also. We lose the so if we take the Red Indians, where are they in America, right? So they are very rare somewhere. That race was lost actually. So similarly, so some races may lost because they don't want to re-exist in the same race again and again. Unless there is a race that people want to come again and again, there will not. Only here and there exceptions are found. If from the enlightened doers are the one does re-exist, it finds itself the hostile world. If all enlightened people are re-existing in this world, because already they were enlightened people, right? So when they were enlightened people are coming here, they know actually, they will not forget, they will not be touched by the karmic bondages, or they will not be touched by these people. They will be able to understand they will be able to remember what is the purpose that they came to this earth planet. So they will work according to that. Suppose there are some Ramana Maharshi, Patri Sat, all these people, so many people, enlightened souls, Sai Baba, all these people came. They try to teach us that, okay, you are going in this way. This is not the thing. They try to, because these are all the enlightened souls. If more enlightened souls comes to this earth, what will happen? So they will be able to reform these things. So reform this and able to do better society. They derive their strength from the collective desires of the doer, which gives the natural matter individual existence of the deity. So here he is saying that the God, how the God is getting the power, that power they derive, the deities are deriving the power from where? The strength and collective desires of the doers. So whatever the strength that you are giving, so like I gave an example of Tirumala or whatever, wherever the place you are going, right? So you are giving all the collective desire, collective worshipping when you are doing it. You are giving collective light to that deity, and it is becoming the strong. It is becoming the, that's how it's becoming that matter is becoming the powerful. Okay. As the existence of these gods depends on the worship, belief, desire, and service of the doers of the race or religion may hold the doers, urge them in all the various conditions. See here, suppose if there is nobody to worship any god, this is one god, let us take some X god. There are so many people worshipping, then that because all that light is taken apart, that is becoming the powerful, because that energy is being taken. If no one is worshipping that X god, what will happen? That will disappear. The God will also be disappear, because God is the matter in which it is getting the energy from all the people who are worshipping. It is stimulating or arousing the feeling and desire of the people, and drawn the light of the intelligence from the doers to that particular things. That's how the deities are getting the power of the things. So this is nothing. Today's class, whatever we are discussing, nothing new. We already, all these points we have discussed in the various destinies, but here particularly is telling how the re-existence is coming up, right? So sometimes the regains of the kingdoms, sometimes the rising of the slothful, and all other times the religious strife and the persecution mark and activities of these gods among the men. Behind these scenes, these gods are created, changed, disappear as the races do before the scenes. So these gods also, not only the races, these gods also, they were created. Who is created? There is a joke I mentioned, right? When the god and man was, they are just facing each other. God is saying that I created you. Man is saying that I created you. It's like that. So if you are coming from the supreme consciousness and you separated, the God is separate, then it is a God you have created. And if God says that I created you because you all came from the supreme consciousness, then because we are all from the same consciousness, so the God created us. That's how the both are right, basically here, right? So like the gods, because there are so many Grama Devatas used to be there, right? Now they are not there because there's nobody who are actually, maybe a few are there in their villages, but not all of them are there, because there's nobody who are worshipping those gods. If there is nobody, the gods will also get disappeared. During their lifetime, a long or a short, these gods are powerful beings and have the hold on the doers of their races, religions through their feelings and desires. How they become powerful? Through your feelings, through your desires. Those gods has become powerful, and they are actually they are able to be there for that at the time of death. How that religion is fixing on your AIA, right? So at the time of the death, a human devotee, the ruling thought, whatever that ruling thought I explained in the beginning of this section, that ruling thought is going to mark on your AIA. So that ruling thought, suppose you are a staunch believer of Hinduism, staunch believer of Christian, whatever it is, whatever that belief, that will also go into the stamp as a stamp in your AIA. So that will come in the breath form again. That will come in the next breath form. So Catholics, Jews are the marked as a at birth as belong to the certain religion. In the case, Protestant sections marks are not so strong. Yet they are there, but they are not so strong because it is all how much you believe it, right? So maybe I'm not sure about the Protestants now, what is their belief system, so I cannot comment much on that. But as per the sentence given, it is Catholics and Jewish has much stronger beliefs in their own systems, but not the Protestants. So the Protestants will not, even though there is a mark that I was there in the I was led my life as a Protestant, but the mark is not so strong. So that particular soul may take the birth in the Protestant or maybe something else, that because it doesn't matter for that soul, right? The religion, race, and nationality are bestowed by the birth in the family which has them. So how that you will be getting it? Because I want to born in that race. So you have to take a family from that race. I want to born in that religion. So you have to choose a family in that religion. I want to born in this country. You have to choose the family in that country. Likewise, whatever the circumstances that you wanted to born, so you choose the family. And later we'll say that why I have born for these people. If I born for that, I would have gone. So many kids and so many, even you and me might be thinking that. But as a soul, we are the one who choose this particular thing. As we told in the last session, sometimes we may be taking the adverse conditions also, not so favorable conditions. Sometimes we may take all favorable conditions. Sometimes the adverse conditions, you'll be taking it. Okay. The early influences of the family often affect behavior and speech throughout the life. So whatever the early influences that you have, right? So those of the family, because family is the one which is, because that's where you are actually rising. So those influences often will affect your behavior and speech throughout your life. How the family, how actually you learn these ideas, right? The family is such why it is so important to have what opportunities you will have for your development, all those things. Or sometimes you may be born in a poor family with the stimulated with so much responsibilities. That's what you choose to born because of whatever the thoughts, the predominant thought that you have it in the last life. Formative influences come through the birth in a family, whether they reach a child directly in the family or indirectly through persons with whom the family brings into the contact. Some of the persons, so they may not be the direct people of your family, but if you have that influence, some of the people may come into this family and they may be influencing your thoughts. Racial, national, religious characteristics are distinguished in one's bearing, manners, and conduct the general behavior. So these tendencies are developed, impeded by the harsh treatment, or by the kindness. So these treatments are sometimes somebody treated you so badly, you can become two. You may become bad that you wanted to take a revenge. Or sometimes you may back. So why the people are behaving such a way? I should be very good. I should be loving. I should not be prejudiced. So it may come. So your qualities may be coming with the harsh treatment or maybe the kindness treatment. Suppose if your parents treated you very well, kindness, you may think that, okay, I need to raise my kids so well, all the things. Suppose your parents did not raise you well and they show some discrimination, some problems you have faced in your life. Even then, You may think that you can show the same discrimination, or you may think that, no, I face it that I should not do that. I wanted to do the opposite way or in a different way. So in this way, so it may come either in favorable conditions or in an unfavorable conditions. Your traits, your whatever you're thinking will be changing. It is all like what you thinking, right? So these are all the psychic dispositions. Also, you are taking it from your ancestors also. So what is that they are doing? The family that you born, right? So from the ancestors also you are taking from some psychic things. Particular family is not usually the particular family is not predestined. You are predestined with the race, some conditions. So one particular family may not be the predestined, but it is a predestined when there is a strong tie of love, hate, or duty between the human beings. You are so brought together as a near relatives. See, usually if I want to born in India, let us say the one American who followed so much all the Hinduism, Bhagavad Gita, we are seeing so many people, right? So India is a very sacred land. I want to born in India, whose parents are like somewhat spiritual. That's what he thought. Then the family may not be so much important for him. So he wanted to born in India. The country was decided. He wanted to born in Hindu. The religion was decided. He wanted to born in a family with the spiritual values. That is decided. There may be so many families spiritual. So he may go into one of the family. But if you want to, if there is a strong love, you wanted to be with them, or you wanted to take a grudge on somebody. So you have a very strong feelings on some particular human being or something. So, or you have some bondage. Oh, I didn't perform my duties well this time. I didn't take care of my parents well. I wanted to take care of I did a wrong thing in this lifetime. I want to take care of my parents well in the next lifetime. Then you may think that, okay, no, I want to go. I want to go to be born in the same parents. I want to take care of them. So you have a strong duty is there between this soul and that soul. In that case only you will be born in the same family. Otherwise, the family is not so important. Then coming to the last part is the sex. The sex of the physical body and the carries what it displays the certain psychic character qualities, just as it modifies the general outlines of the body, male or a female. As we know, as we learn from all these days, so whenever your feelings are more, when you have a lot of feelings and you wanted to express them or whatever, so when the feeling was dominated, the dominant character in you, then obviously you will be going into the female body, because female is it's a feeling domination. Suppose feeling was dominated by desire. If you are more of the desire kind of person, then you will be going into the male thing. So when you are in this lifetime, so if your feelings, if suppose you came with a desire, your desires were all satisfied, you think that, okay, I earned this much, but nothing is important. Only the love is important, everybody. So you started having more feelings than desires, then you may change into the female body. Or you came to the female body, somehow you didn't like it, having so much feelings, and also all this is the trash. I don't want to keep all the so many feelings. I just wanted to go with the desire and wanted to do this. Then you may change to the male portion. Otherwise, you may come to you may feel when you are satisfied with the current thing, then you may come to the same life with the same gender also. Of the 12 portions of the doer, 6 are desire portions and 6 are feeling portions. The male body's characteristic is determined by the desire. As I told you, the female body characteristics is designed by male. The female body is feeling. Okay. Likewise, the 6 feeling portions and re-exist in the female bodies. The 6 feeling portions out of 12 portions that we seen in the last class, the 6 feeling portions, whenever you are in that, you have to re-exist as a female. Whenever you are in the desire portions, you have to come as a male. So when you change, however, the doer, both aspects are, but remember, each doer, suppose you are a feeling means female means it is only that, it's only that feelings only will, no. There will be the feelings and desires. Every portion, every soul has that feeling and desire. Both will be there. Only the dominating character decides the sex. Suppose if the desire is a dominance, then the male, and if the feeling is a dominance, then you are going as a female. It's a dominance, but every portion, like you say, every one of us is having both muscular power and the feminine power, both. So whichever is dominant, the dominating will desire the sex. The sex organs demonstrate the type of thinking. So the sex organs will demonstrate in the thinking, right? So the type of thinking in your in that particular lifetime. Men and women think according to the feeling and desire functions of their sex. Okay, the desire of the function of the male generates a thought of a male sex and stamps the lines on the breath form, and it tends to determine the male sex. Thinking and whereas the feeling, the same thing, when the feeling decides, then it's determined as a feeling sex, female sex. The cause of changing the sex in the next life of a re-existing portion is found in the thinking subservient and the desire for the feeling of the opposite. So when you say that, oh, I didn't like being a girl, I just wanted to go. I know one of my friend. He is a male. He says, oh, always the females will have a lot of things. You can have a lot of jewelry. You can go for the nails. You can do that. You can wear different kinds of dresses. So he is so passionate about it. Maybe when that kind of passionate is there in this, right? So he has a feelings. Feelings are coming up. It's not only the desire. Maybe the previous lifetime he has a desire and he came, but he has that kind of feelings, right? When you have that kind of feelings, he may change the next life. The sex may change into the female. These are the conditions. So sometimes the eye portion may change its things from male to female and female to male. With this, I conclude the section 11. Any questions? I think I completed on time or 2 minutes over.
Yeah, even in Bhagavad Gita also, Krishna mentions, if you think of me in the final moments, then you will achieve
whatever you achieve, right?
Yeah.
If you remember me at the end, you will reach me. Otherwise, whatever you think, you will go. That's what he mentions. I mentioned. Yes, I remember that. Let me stop the recording so that people can ask questions. Is there? I don't know whether how I custom life. Make idea on that.
There is no record button here. I don't see any record, but it just says live.
Yeah, but how to switch on that? No, I think as a host, I will be having here. No. Record. I don't know. Okay, let's go. If you have any questions, let it be. Is it clear? Am I clear this today's class?
Yeah. It is clear. Basically, depending